Hello， 大家好，我是雪薇，欢迎继续收看《钢之崛起》细刻式全剧情流程攻略。好，我们前往下一个场景CD。过来之后，我们需要把魂凑到1万。如果是不想用的装备，就可以出售给商店了。之后也可以回购的，差价是500。购买新块，把主武器升到4级。不升到4的话，现在的伤害就不够看了。如果青铜锭和铁柱不够的话，可以去上个图刷胖哥哥，他会出这2个物品。现在看到敌人就不需要背刺了，直接冲刺。当然，未格挡的敌人依旧会反弹攻击。前面广场敌人特别多，需要逐个击破。接下来的跳跳虎会出现带雷管的，这种是会自爆的跳跳虎，血量也是上涨很多。如果没有升级武器的话，大旭都不能一发带走。轻骑兵直接冲刺，大旭带走。第2支轻骑兵一定要现在打，不然等下可能会出现1打多的情况。不要往前，先去侧面。右手箱子后面有个潜行者，不用管，直接冲刺先秒掉原型机。转身左喷火背刺。镜头轻骑兵尸体上可以拿到青铜锭，接着上2楼，冲刺到对面优先击杀房顶的轻骑兵。这种背对的情况是很少见的，正对的话也是一样的处理方式。击杀后回身这边可以开启马车旁边的大门。这样中央区域就只剩一个链球怪了。现在我们打他就是 so easy， 冲刺后2次大旭带走。应对单只跳跳虎还是可以进行冲刺选手，背上发光就是要自爆，持续拉开就可以躲掉。这个区域描绘的就是巴黎大堂，它的前身是传统的巴黎中央市场，中间的建筑是文艺复兴时期建造的中央喷泉，现在成为了该区域的主要饮用水源。在19世纪50年代，新建了大型的玻璃和铁构建筑，有巴黎的杜甫之称。前面有个新的旧敌人，火属性的猎隼。先吸引他过来，中间还有其他敌人。火属性的多了，远程炮击一定要先躲避后再进行冲刺。轻击接大旭带走。每次冲刺击中敌人需要消耗3格胶囊槽，所以冲刺攻击是有 CD 存在。现在既需要掌握好耐力，也需要看好胶囊。这边开门可以回到马车处，进入的话最好都开一下，等一下我们返回的时候就非常方便。
Stop! Not another step or I shoot.
Wait. I have come on behalf of the Marquis de Lafayette.
He's taken an automat for his aide-de-camp. You're no more human than the machines that laid waste to this city.
I was not given the same orders as the others, monsieur.
Just what mission has the Marquis entrusted you with?
I must meet with Abbé Grégoire.
Alas, you've come too late. The abbot has got it into his head to go to the Palais de Justice. He is certain that Monseigneur de la Fare, the Bishop of Nancy, is being held prisoner by the monstrosity that is wreaking havoc on the Ile de la Cité. But how can he possibly hope to free him? The abbot is a holy man. He would lay down his life to right an injustice. But there isn't one among us who stands the slightest chance against that thing. Not the slightest chance.
Le Palais de Justice.
好，趁这个时间来聊一下叫我们来这里的拉法耶特侯爵。前面简要聊过他出生于法国奥弗烟地区的贵族家庭。他从小到大一路平步青云，长大后迅速崛起。在父母早亡后，拉法耶特继承了大笔财产。13岁时就承袭了侯爵头衔，随后他离乡参军。在18岁时，他痴迷于新派思想。不顾国王的禁令，动身前往美国参加独立战争。4年后，他荣归故里，充分利用自己极好的声望，着手推动王国迫切需要的改革。此外，他还游说减少对最贫穷者的征税，以及改善囚犯的条件，并废除特许权书。另外，他还加入了黑人之友协会，并在圭亚那购置了一片种植园。在那里，他让奴隶们重获自由身，并为他们提供工作和教育。有钱真的就是好呀！圭亚那位于南美洲北部，它的国民主要是印度裔和非洲裔，多信奉基督新教和印度教，是南美洲唯一以英语作为官方语言的国家。在召开3级会议时，他被一群开明贵族提名为代表。在辩论中，他并没有给人留下什么印象，而是更喜欢让渴望得到欢迎的演说家发言，比如米拉波小胖胖。在意识到正在酝酿的危机后，并为从汉人冲突中崛起的新法国力量而努力。我们之前去的地方就是黑人之友协会的办事处。这座位于圣梅利广场的建筑，它是雅克的故居。雅克·布里索是法国大革命时期吉伦特派的领导人。自1788年成立以来，黑人之友协会的成员一直在这里开会，其成员中有许多被王国定为国家公敌，悬赏其项上人头之人。刚刚拿枪威胁我们的黑人就是协会的铁粉之一啊！大家都知道，欧美那边种族纷争、肤色问题一直都是敏感话题。于连他并不是法国人，他出生于圣多明哥，他父亲来自朗德，而母亲是个混血儿。从殖民法看来，他是一个有色人种的自由人。这一身份使他可以建立并扩展一个大型电缆种植园。但1784年，他为了抗争肤色歧视，前往巴黎，向国王和大臣们提出申诉。尽管这些努力收效甚微，但从那之后，他继续谴责着殖民地的奴隶遭受暴行的行为。在漫长的运动过程中，他与一些奴隶主义者建立起了深厚的友谊，其中包括之前提到的布里索以及我们要找的修道院院长，他们都是黑人之友协会的奠基人。
You are made of neither flesh nor blood. You are an automat like those who committed this massacre.
I have received no such command. I am carrying out a mission on the orders of the Queen. Your friend on Place Saint-Marie informed me of your intentions.
Alas, I was not able to reach the Palais de Justice. I fear that the soul of Monseigneur de la Fare is lost forever.
Was he killed?
What has been done to him is a fate worse than death. Far worse. But I could go no further. There were so many bodies, so many innocents strewn about the square. The air there was something sinister about it. I felt it poisoning me, body and soul. As for getting back to the Société, it's hopeless. The streets are teeming with machines. But the machine that is wreaking havoc in the area around the Palais is colossal. Much, much larger than yourself. What's more, the soul of His Excellency the Bishop has been imprisoned within this monstrous machine. I'm certain of it. Have you seen the flames coming from the Palais? I don't think anyone...
I, Henri de la Fare, Bishop of Nancy, ask the Lord to bless this assembly and watch over this meeting of the Estates General. Let us not turn a blind eye to the misfortunes of a populace who is condemned to the most abject poverty, for there is no greater sin than to ignore the suffering of one's brethren. The wickedness of the court is an insult to the misery that reigns in our lands. In such dark times, how can one conceive of hiding away to play shepherdess or tinker with clockwork contraptions?
Mon Dieu, what happened? You stopped moving. I feared you had broken.
I do not know. I only touched this ring.
Monseigneur de la Fare's ring. Arthur, whoever you are, help him, please. Lord, let not that his soul be forever lost. Make haste, I beg of you.
Madame.
Why didn't you come sooner, ma chère? Those poor children in the National Guard. They could have used your help. They marched all day on the Pont Neuf. Oh, you should have heard them singing as they marched on the Place Dauphine. They were very brave then. To hear them, you'd think that the king had already handed over his crown.
Then what happened?
As far as I know, gunfire, the booming of cannons, shouting, lots of shouting. And then, silence.
None of the soldiers returned.
No, not a single one. My son, my little Francois. He left this morning to join the volunteers, but he hasn't given any sign of life since.
I'll try to find out what happened to him. Madame.
Do you have any news of my son?
No, Madame.
Will I never see him again in this lifetime?
这个老狱师想找他的儿子，等一下会遇到。我们来把冰枪升到3级，这样可以快速点出敌人的冰冻状态。前面就是塞纳河，等一下我找一下左岸的咖啡在哪儿。 宝箱中可以拿到催化剂，侧面有手雷，别忘记。前面这个新敌人，咱们升级了手枪，现在就可以快速点出冰冻状态，轻击接2大蓄可以直接带走。这个敌人名为断弓，人如其名，它是被用于制造武器以及巧工机器人的部件而造的机器类型。这些机械工匠被设计用来在大皇家的建筑工地上工作，但经过改良并投入到军事服务后，组成了皇家军事工程部队。有了突进后，清理敌人现在就比较轻松了。前面有个小 boss， 胖哥哥的进化型。接下来直接蓄力 ，boss 时间咱们可以直接打满2次大蓄。第2次打伤后赶紧拉开，冲刺攻击是最大威胁，接将4枪点进冰洞。冲刺2清急速冷却接大蓄，这次大蓄之后就不要蓄满。拉开继续切枪连点，点的时候一定要保持距离。OK， 最后一套。
Once the malaise is gone, all that remains is the massacre.
这边上去宝箱中可以拿到一把武器和迅捷模组，这个模组暂时没用。下来侧面有一个睡着了的轻骑兵，这些反抗军和志愿军在机械部队面前就如同纸屑一般薄弱。这个广场就是前面提到的太子广场。
I beg you, leave this place and seek shelter. I have seen these machines in action. I know all too well their capabilities. I implore you, vous n'avez pas une chance. S'il vous plaît, heed my words. Flee.
We must leave this place, Monseigneur. There's no time.
好，我们来开一个3级模组和最后一个卡槽。最后一个带上1伤，刚刚获取了的衣服也可以换上。前面有2只自爆和普通跳跳虎。往回蓄力1枪收掉2只。我们现在重击每次都可以打出倒地。呀呵，人小鬼大！背后有潜行者，过去背对蓄力。上来1只轻骑兵和断弓，快速击杀轻骑兵。 断弓对我们来说就没有什么难度可言了。旁边的木箱中可以获取到3颗冰雷。
In God's name, save yourself!
Take this to the clerk's office at the Châtelet.
But I will say will never end.
Be not afraid. I am not a member of the royal army. Au contraire, I intend to put an end to it.
And now comes the time when the wolves are at each other's throats.
I will not hurt you. You can believe me.
Believe you? I'm afraid it's too late, madame. Those whose bodies are strewn about this square paid the ultimate price for their blind trust. Like me, they believed in their country, in the National Guard, and they were urged to join. They believed in the Marquis de Lafayette, who was to lead them to victory, but they waited in vain for their savior. Look at them now. See what has become of their beautiful illusions.
How did they die?
Steel and fire, madame. We didn't stand a chance. And our wretched commanders must have known it. They saw what that gigantic automat was capable of, yet they let him cross the bridge and didn't sound the retreat. The only reason I'm still alive is that I'm a spineless coward. I couldn't help myself. My legs carried me here, where I hid, motionless. And it was from here that I witnessed the massacre. That creature, a parody of a cardinal, nothing could stop it. Soldiers and volunteers alike were mown down like sheaves of wheat.
The automat. Does it have any weaknesses?
I don't know. My comrades attacked the sphere that supported it. In retrospect, they probably should have tried a different strategy. They should have aimed higher, perhaps. Its head? If you could call it a head. There's no way of knowing.
I will go and find it.
À votre guise, madame. My prayers go with you, even if I don't think you stand much of a chance.
这个就是那个老婆婆的儿子，说好的勇敢游行呢，结果躲在这里。好，我们来准备一下 BOSS 战。从商店中购买一个改良版的炸弹手雷，一个就够。现在可以继续力量，因为武器4级后力量亲和就更高了。换上手雷，这边我就顺手把魂给捏了。 个 BOSS 我们不需要知道他的任何机制，唯一需要知道的就是攻击他的上半身才有伤害，炸弹除外。BOSS 第一击大概率都是投技，躲避后改良手雷一发就可以炸倒，蓄力大蓄接小蓄，然后快速拉开。BOSS 若定身依旧是3发即可定身，定身瞬间马上蓄力，记得不要贴太近，解决后再接一次大蓄。大蓄后可补1到2次轻击，拉开同时丢雷，在他技能出来之前将他定身。第2次循环。剩3颗血就要暴走了，快速丢雷，大蓄接处决带走。
Ora pro nobis peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Stay back!
Remain calm, Monseigneur. You are safe now.
What did they do to me? This dream. This nightmare.
What nightmare, Monseigneur?
It was terrible. I was but a shadow among shadows. There was so much anger, despair. How long has it been? A day? A year? Fire! There were flames everywhere, and death. The suffering I was forced to inflict. Oh Lord, what have I done? Is this the hell that awaits our immortal souls once our time on this earth has ended? If this is true, then how are we to go on living with nothing to hope for, nothing to believe in?
How were you captured, Monseigneur?
I was with Abbé Grégoire in Place Dauphine. We'd gone to speak with the volunteers of the Garde Nationale. We implored them not to take up arms against the king's machines. Alas, they refused to heed our words, and we had to leave in great haste. After that, mon Dieu, I can't remember a thing. Those poor people. These automats were truly made in the mold of their master. Ruthless! To think, for just one simple reproach against the court, the king cast me into hell.
You owe your freedom to Abbé Grégoire.
The good abbot, I tell you, this man is utterly irreplaceable. He has devoted himself body and soul to the mission I entrusted to him. Investigating the king's entourage. In particular, the man who enabled him to create this ungodly army. But, mon Dieu, the notes!
What notes, Monseigneur?
The notes the abbot placed in my safekeeping. Those heretics took them.
I know where the documents can be found. I must go to the Châtelet prison.
What shall I do? Where will I be safe?
Go and join the abbot at the Société des Amis des Noirs. The way is clear for now, but you must go quickly. More automats will be here soon.
OK， 我们现在获得了圣经之钩，像这种有钩环的地方就可以上去了。当然，依旧是可以用钩索来进行攻击的，一样需要消耗3格胶囊。回头找这边的儿子对话。
Monsieur, I vanquished the creature that wiped out the National Guard.
Oh, so single-handed. You've done what an entire battalion was unable to do.
For now, I urge you to stay in your hiding place. It's not safe out here yet.
Oh, don't you worry about that. You won't see little Francois out on the streets anytime soon.
Little Francois, dites-vous?
Yes, madame. That's the nickname they gave me in the Pont Neuf quarter where I grew up.
I spoke to your mother, monsieur. She is worried sick about you.
The poor woman. Please inform her that her son is well, even if he will never do her the honor of becoming a hero.
Adieu, monsieur.
Farewell, madame, and may fortune ever favor you.
好，我们继续力量，现在要去取回院长笔记。
The Châtelet prison is at the upper end of the Pont au Change. This grappling hook will be very useful.
钩爪会附带雷属性异伤，同时击倒小型敌人。
We've got to get out of here quickly. We're in grave danger. These machines have neither heart nor mind. No mercy can be expected from them.
And where do you hope to find refuge, mon cher voisin? The enemy is everywhere, and they take no prisoners.
断弓，我们还是兵枪接二连。往回后面可以拿到冰手雷，这个场景可以获取到很多冰雷。下面有2个敌人快速清掉原型机后，后面的是一只潜行者，直接戳翻在地，一枪带走。现在可以花式杀敌了。这边先回头，你的武器都露出来了。从这里跳下去可以拿到一块铸铁，不重要的东西就不去拿了。前方的轻骑兵是装睡着的。对面的话，我们现在还去不了。还有最后一个敌人，这里就没有什么东西了。前面2个敌人切枪吸引，优先击杀猎隼。自爆，赶紧后撤！大厦雷特堡垒，它是所有警监职权范围的中心，不论是调查员、情报员，以及负责维持秩序的巴黎警卫队士兵，都受其管辖。而这座堡垒的下方还有一个监狱，关着王国最可怕的罪犯。而我们刚刚打 BOSS 的那个区域也是一个铭记，它名为司法宫。之前它曾作为法国王室居住地。除了王室居住地之外，它还是一个法庭。这个特别的法庭专为审判被王国认定为国家公敌的人而设。好，先来右边，上面有轻骑兵，先吸引乱弓出来。点好冰洞，一炮带走。 尽头的宝箱中可以拿到备用控制杆，等一下用来开门。接着去右边，右边是裂损加轻骑兵的配置。空中打掉袋子，把裂损给拉出去。2枪接冲刺打出冰洞，1套带走。房间内就是我们要找的笔记。OK， 咱们继续力量。这边宝箱中获取到衣服可以换一下，顺便把手雷给换回来。这里我们先走上面，右边是可以进去的。下面是普通裂损冰雷冲刺冻结。前面会遇到一只新的老朋友。先躲掉喇叭怪的攻击，1套带走。注意链球怪的动作，这个是火属性的链球怪，攻击距离非常离谱，所以最好是1套冰冻带走。这个小通道里面的敌人血量都会比外面厚。这边出来就是刚刚的街道，继续往下，上面等一下再去。你打我一炮，我给你一枪。前面箱子后面有一个潜行者，骗他出攻击，2枪戳掉。右边可以拿到青铜锭。现在我们去找一下老婆婆。开启这扇门就可以快速到达位置。这些敌人我们回头再收拾，让他们嚣张一会儿。
Comfort, Madame. Your son is safe and sound. He has found a safe haven where he is not in danger, and will stay there until it's safe to come out.
Praise be to God. Without you, I would have been overcome with worry. Here, for your trouble. A little something to help you continue your fight. Thank you again, ma chère. And may fortune guide your footsteps.
回来全是背对，可以快速打掉。你不可以掉下去污染塞纳河啊，朋友！好，返回刚才街道，我们要走上面街区。这边都是打过敌人就不管了，回到黑人挚友协会。
Dieu soit loué. It is such a blessing to see you safe and sound.
This belongs to you.
Bless you, whoever you are. You have our eternal gratitude.
I believe you've met Monsieur Julien Raymond from distant Saint-Domingue. He's one of the most eminent members of our organization.
And you, mademoiselle? What should we call you?
My name is Aegis.
Ah, yes. The Aegis. The mighty shield and scourge of Zeus.
I wonder... Earlier, by the Pont Neuf, when you touched Monseigneur's ring, can you explain what happened?
The ring called to me. It compelled me to reach out and take it.
Come now.
The moment I touched it, I was transported. Somewhere else. It was the same strange world that you were in, Monseigneur.
Hell, you mean?
Or purgatory?
I saw things there. I saw Monseigneur giving a sermon.
What wickedness is this?
This explains the moment when you froze. And this isn't the only time you've experienced something like this, n'est-ce pas?
That is correct. It also happened with two objects I found in Place Dauphine.
And what happened there?
That is where I found your Bible and your cross, Monseigneur.
How did you know they belonged to me?
They demanded to be returned to you. You did not regain consciousness until I did so.
This is madness.
Let us not be so quick to judge, Monseigneur.
I witnessed the moment when your cross was taken from you. Then I saw you being locked in that box.
Eh bien voilà. It is just as I suspected. Here, Aegis, look at this. Over the course of my research, I unearthed this ancient document. I believe I have finally uncovered its meaning. It's a triangle with an identical inscription at each corner. Nemi, memory in ancient Greek. Then, in the center, there is an open eye which symbolizes awakening. Do you understand? The images you saw, Aegis, were Monseigneur de la Far's own memories. 3 echoes of the past tied to personal objects of his. 3 Nemes, memories which some dark alchemy had taken from him. Without them, his mind would have remained lost, incomplete. He would never have regained consciousness. But by returning these 3 objects to him, Aegis, you were able to save his immortal soul.
Tell me, Aegis, when you were at the clerk's office at the Châtelet, did you perhaps see a leather wallet near the abbot's documents?
No, Monseigneur.
Ah, that is unfortunate. Most unfortunate.
Monseigneur? What task did you entrust to the abbot?
The Holy Office ordered me to keep an eye on the Comte de Cagliostro. This charlatan imagines himself to be the heir of Mesmer, the magnetizer, and seems to have ingratiated himself with the king. There have been disturbing reports about him that could lead to his excommunication. It is said that he can make the dead speak. Can you imagine? I asked the abbot to investigate the surroundings of Eugène de Vaucanson's workshop, where the Count had been seen coming and going for several weeks. I cannot disclose the details of what he discovered there, but it may well be related to the events that have plunged Paris into mourning.
I bid you farewell, Monseigneur.
Wait just a moment, s'il vous plaît. You are one of Cagliostro's creatures, are you not?
What do you mean?
When did you awaken?
I do not understand, Monseigneur.
Well, that is to say, you talk, you think, you seem to act with some sort of free will. This was not always the case, that much is clear. You must agree that not all automates are as sophisticated as yourself. I'm attempting to unravel the mystery of your true nature. Tell me, what are your very first memories?
That is a question I am unable to answer.
How strange. In that case, you must surely be able to tell me who taught you what you know.
What I know, Monseigneur?
How can I put it in a way that you'll understand? For example, you call me Monseigneur. How do you know that this is how one addresses a member of the clergy of my rank?
I cannot explain it. I believe...
Go on, Aegis.
I believe that this knowledge is not mine.
Well, I never. Did you hear that, Abbot?
I caught every word, mon ami.
Monsieur Raymond, what is the aim of this organization?
We publish articles and exert our influence on those who are in a position to improve the lot of our unfortunate brethren. Our numbers grow by the day, and we have many illustrious members, such as the Comte de Mirabeau and the Marquis de Lafayette. But it was Monsieur Brissot and the abbot that founded the group.
Good old Brissot. Shouldn't he be here by now?
Yes, mon père. He should have arrived hours ago. Alas, there's been no sign of him.
I hope to God that no misfortune has befallen him.
What fate does the kingdom reserve for those with black skin?
According to tradition, any enslaved person who sets foot on French soil is freed.
This rule is most problematic in the eyes of planters in the colonies, who would seek to maintain their precious labor force.
This is why, for the past 12 years, no black people have been allowed to disembark in any of the kingdom's ports. Those who accompany their masters on the journey are imprisoned in the Admiralty's jails the moment they leave the ship. As for those who manage to evade the authorities, they live in fear of the raids carried out by the Marshalsea.
Are you not subject to these laws, Monsieur Raymond?
I am fortunate enough to have been born a subject of the king through my father, and also to have received an education, and to be wealthy.
Naturally, that makes all the difference.
You are quite a long way from home, Monsieur Raymond.
I haven't been back to Saint-Domingue in nearly 5 years. I left my most trusted men in charge of overseeing my indigo plantation. I came to France with the aim of having an audience with the king. I hoped to convince him to use his automats for agricultural work. I was of the belief that this was the best way to ease the suffering of our enslaved brethren. Alas, it was all for naught. I was only able to get an audience with the Minister of the Navy, and even that was granted reluctantly. Later, when the king convened the Estates General, my hopes were renewed. I saw it as an opportunity to make our voices heard. And then, mon Dieu, what a disaster, Aegis. What a complete disaster.
Mon père.
Plus tard, s'il vous plaît. I need a moment alone. I must read over my notes in light of what we have just discovered.
好，对话完成，我们就要前往下一个目的地了。